Sheridan, Wyoming, it's Thursday night. So that must mean it's 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern because I'm live on YouTube. Very excited to be here tonight with all of you fabulous people out there. I see a lot of you have already been commenting before I came on. I appreciate that. I hope everyone's having a great day. I see some of you are sweltering in the heat down south. Oh, it's terrible. I'm very sorry to hear that. I know you guys have been suffering for a while and we just need some relief, right? We are getting a little relief. It's only 80 degrees here today. So that's pretty cold. It's terrible. Oh, hold on. I got the volume up on this thing and nobody wants to hear me twice. Okay, got the volume turned off. I've been doing some TV watching on my iPad. There's I don't know, kind of a trashy show on Peacock called Love Island, and I just love it. I've been watching variations of Love Island for a number of years now. They have Love Island Australia, Love Island USA, Love Island UK, Love Island South Africa. I mean, they've got Love Island everywhere. And right now they have one, it's USA, but they're filming it in Fiji. So, I mean, all the contestants, well, not all of them, because there's a guy from Australia. Anywho, there's a kid on there who just graduated from South Dakota State University. So I kind of feel a little bit connected to him because he, is kind of close to me. And he's just a really cute guy, really sweet. And I just hope he finds somebody that likes him. Anyway, so that's why the volume's up on my iPad, because I've been sitting down here watching some trash TV, which I don't do all the time. But, Love Island, it just gets me. So anyway, I hope you guys are all having a great week. Like I said, those of you that are demonstrators, our holiday catalog, the September to December mini catalog, the pre-order went live yesterday. Oh my gosh. I swear this, and I know I say this all the time, but this is literally one of the best holiday catalogs we've had in a long time. I mean, last year's catalog was good, but I don't remember really feeling a tremendous amount of love for it. There was some cute things in there, and I definitely found some things I had to have, but boy, this catalog, there's a lot. I ordered a lot more stuff yesterday than I normally would. Normally I order like, a bundle and a stamp set or something like that. I don't know. But this time I ordered like 5 stamp sets and a couple sweets and a bundle or 2. And for me, that's a lot for the first go round. Cause I typically like to, wait and see what other people are making to see, I really like that, or I don't like that. But boy, I ordered a lot. So I'm assuming some of you gals are also. Cheryl says she's seen it and thinks she needs a loan. Yeah, I'm with you, girl. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there. Judy, yes, I did go crazy. Oops. I just couldn't help myself, I've been kind of good with the annual catalog. I mean, good for Barb. But man, there was just so many cute things in there. I just had to have some of them. I had to have a lot of them. Plus, I had coupon codes from a bunch of orders that I placed last month. So I was able to reduce my order. So I was able to get more stuff because of the coupon codes. So I was really excited to be able to get, I don't really want to say because I'm going to know how much money I spent. Let's just say it was a number of coupon codes. So yeah, so I was very excited to be able to get some stuff for free. I love free stuff. And yeah, so that was great. So in case you guys didn't know, coupon codes can be redeemed now through the end of August. Orders that you placed in July of $50 or more earned coupon codes that came to you in an email. When you redeem them, you just copy and paste them into the coupon code section of either the demonstrator website if you're a demonstrator or the online store if you're a customer. And you can redeem your coupon codes with any demonstrator. It doesn't have to be necessarily the person that you shopped with initially. So just want to throw that out there, not trying to, be shady or anything, but you can. I know a lot of you girls order from various demonstrators, and that's totally okay to do that. So there you go. I am running a special this month, so you might want to spend your codes with me. Just saying. I am running a special where I am giving you the beautiful Abundant Beauty decorative masks out of the holiday catalog next month. So all orders from now to the end of this month that are $100 or more will get those masks. Now, if you're a person that maybe, you can't spend $100 at once, but if you want to spend $50 with me now, maybe $50 towards the end of the month, that totally counts. So, just let me know that you've done that, and I am happy to send the masks to you. I don't have them in my hand right now, so I can't show them to you because I can't show you the inside of the catalog. Well, I can't show you the inside of the catalog because I don't have a catalog. So I couldn't show it to you even if I wanted to, but I don't have mine yet. So I had to use the online version, which is difficult for me as a demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for so long, and I need that catalog in my hands in order to really order. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, Judy, yes, Judy ordered some stuff from my retired sale, and she received her stuff yesterday. That seems like it took a long time. Did it take a long time? I feel like I sent it out last week sometime. Maybe you live a long ways from me. I can't remember where you live, Judy. Anyway, I'm glad you got it. So I digress, and now I forgot what I was even talking about. Oh, the special. Yes. So if you order $100 from me in the month of August, then I will send you those decorative masks for free. And then I'm going to, of course, I have them on my order, and then I'm going to, share with you a number of different ways to use them. So you will hit the ground running. You'll get your masks, and you'll already have some ideas for them. So it should be amazing. Okay, that out of the way. I have a funny little story about my son. He's over in the other room. And I told him I was going to tell you guys his story, and he didn't get mad. So I guess it's okay to say it. So last night at dinner, we were talking about spiders. I'm not sure how we even started talking about spiders. But I've been getting a lot of spiders in this bathroom right behind me. And then I discovered the other day, there's these these little teeny tiny ants that I'm seeing in there every once in a while. So I'm like, oh, that's where the food is. So that's where the spiders are. So this is a couple of months. I've probably killed 3 or 4, and they're large-ish. They're like, a quarter or bigger in diameter with, if you drew a circle around their legs, and they're icky and I hate them. Well, he was then telling me how he hates spiders and he really hates snakes. And I was like, oh, I don't really like snakes either, and I don't normally ever see snakes, except when we first moved in here, there was a snake down the hall in the laundry room, which was very creepy. But anyway, we got rid of it. So anyways, he was telling me a story about how he was working the other day, and they were clearing out. He works in a shop, and they were cleaning it out. And so he was in a corner cleaning some stuff out, and he moved some things, and there was a snake. And then he said that he screamed like a little girl and ran away, which I started laughing my head off because I just thought that was hilarious, because I did not know that he was that scared of snakes. So that's kind of funny, because he's a manly guy, he's pretty manly. And for him to say he screamed like a little girl and run away just made me laugh my head off. So yeah, Shella, what is tiny ants? What's up with that? And how are they in my basement? Do they like burrow all the way down 10 feet along my foundation, and then they set up a house, and then they come in? I just don't understand how they even get in here. But apparently they've been a tasty meal for the spiders. So I put an ant trap in there, and I haven't seen any more ants, and I haven't seen any more spiders, knock on something, because I'm not a fan of going in there and seeing a yucky black thing along the wall, because then you're like, oh, okay, well, I got to get something to kill it with. And then, if you don't get it, then it runs. And oh, there's just a whole other creep level about that if it's running around. So anyway, that's my funny story for the week. I know I haven't had too many funny stories for you guys, but I thought that was pretty funny. And remember, last week I wasn't live because my daughter showed up unexpectedly last Wednesday night and surprised us. And so I wanted to spend some time with her, so I just wasn't live last week. That's the benefits of owning your own business, I guess, right? I can kind of work when I want to, which I work all the time, so I deserved some time off. All right, let's see. Jean says grasshoppers. Ugh. Grasshoppers are gross too. We haven't had that many yet. Yeah, sometimes they just invade the whole place, but they haven't this year. So I don't know what's going on, if they're coming late or maybe they're not coming at all, which would be really nice. So I guess we'll see. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on around here. We are just gearing up for the new catalog coming out. Of course, I'm going to do product shares. So, oh my gosh, Kelly says to use my tiny hands to kill the tiny ants. That's hilarious. I haven't used the tiny hands for a long time. Maybe Handy Mandy should come back in for a little bit, for a little show. Maybe when I flip the camera, we'll bring Handy Mandy in. She still has the same manicure. She's still married, still has her diamond ring on. So yeah, that's hilarious. That'd be kind of funny. But you know, those little tiny ants, they kind of move quick. And they're literally like microscopic. You could barely see them. They're so tiny. So anyway, somebody was talking about cicadas. Blech. Yeah, those things are nasty too. There's so many nasty things, so many bugs that are just yucky. Ugh. Judy has a major fear of spiders. Oh, Judy, no, 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 no. I can't even repeat that. That's just too gross and scary and creepy. Ugh. Yeah, I would have lost my mind, literally lost my mind. So if you guys are wondering what Judy's talking about, check the chat. Oh, Cheryl says, put some sugar water in a bowl to get the ants. I don't want the ants to come to me. You know, like I don't want to draw them here. I just want them to come to the trap and then take the bait back to the nest and get killed. So that's just kind of how I am. Okay. I don't really have any more like stories to tell, I don't think. And like I said, the catalog's coming out, product shares are coming out, new classes are coming out. Our catalog kickoff is I've got a registration link for the catalog kickoff in the description of this video. So if you're not a Stamp Happy Academy member, or if you haven't been a Stamp Happy Academy subscriber since June, then the cost of the kickoff is $15. Very inexpensive. Those of you that are on here right now that have attended our catalog kickoffs in the past know how amazing they are and know that $15 is like super cheap. So yeah, so the link is in the description. Once you click the link and pay your fee, then you'll get an email from us telling you to join the Facebook group, and it will give you the link to the Facebook group. You'll have to answer a few questions to get into the Facebook group, and then we'll get you in. So that is a manual process, so please give us some grace. It's not that you click on the link to join the Facebook group and you're immediately in. You still have to be approved manually. So there you go. Okay, I am now going to flip the camera for realsies this time. And then we are going to get to some stamping. I have some cute things to share. Oops, hold on. Let me get this thing on here correctly. And then I'll tap my little button twice. I don't know why I have to hit it twice or 3 times today for some reason. To get the camera to flip. And then we got to do a little adjusting because Barb's a little bit anal. And I want my camera to be just so. All right. So Bonnie is telling you all that the catalog kickoffs are amazing. She's not wrong. We typically have 7 live events. One of them is a meet and greet before the catalog kickoff actually starts. And then we each do a video with make and take projects. And then we each do a live video with just extra inspiration for stuff from the catalog. So it's amazing and you're going to love it. So here is our little bit of business that we need to take care of. Bonus days. It's the earning part is over. Now it's the redemption part. I didn't have a chance to create a new graphic for that, but August is when you redeem your coupon codes. So check your emails for your coupon codes. You just copy and paste them into the coupon code section on the website, and then that will reduce your order. Now remember that if your order is reduced, let's say you have $100 in your cart and you're wanting my special, and you have 2 coupon codes. Well, now your total is only $90. So you're going to need to add something else to your order to get it back up to $100. So basically with the coupon codes is you're kind of getting free stuff. That's how I look at it. So your order does need to be $100 before shipping, before tax, and before any coupon codes redeemed or have been applied. So there you go. All right. Oh, and then here's my package of masks to remind me to talk about. These are not the masks that you're going to get. That's just a reminder for Barb because I'm old and can't remember stuff all the time. All right. Catalog kickoff party, the September to December 2023 mini catalog. The 3 of us, of course, are doing it. It starts September 6th. It goes through September 20th. I think our meet and greet is going to be on the 5th of September. I'm not positive yet. We will have a schedule of events posted into the group. Of course, that won't happen until September. So right now we're just working on the month of August, getting people's getting their payments processed, getting their Stamp Happy Academy memberships checked, getting you into the Facebook group. So once you're in the group, definitely bookmark that so you can find it again. And then we will start probably posting some engagement photos, just, some fun little things to just have a little bit of fun with. Probably in a couple of weeks, those will start posting. And then we'll get into it in the month of September when the catalog actually goes live. So there you go. All right. I have a couple of new classes for this month. My first one is the Bird's Eye View class. And oh my gosh, these birds are the cutest little things. These glasses totally make the entire stamp set so much better. And so I've got the Bird's Eye View. Now this stamp set doesn't have any sentiments. So I am going to be using the phrases for all. If you don't have this and you do want it, you can add it to your registration form. I'm also using the Nested Essentials dies on some of the cards. And so if you don't have those, you will need to add those or then just cut your own shapes with some other dies that you might have. So, and then, of course, you get a full pack of the Glorious Gingham Designer Series paper. You get bunches of sequins. You get some brass butterflies, a few yards of linen thread, some of our champagne, what's this stuff called? Dazzle paper, and then a couple of these scallop gift card boxes to make some gift card boxes. Yeah. So anyways, links in the description for that class. My other class is the Earth and Textures class. This you probably have already seen a bunch of projects made with this amazing stuff. So we are now getting our class up with this, and it's going to be amazing. I've got a link to the registration for that also in the description of this video, and I can hardly wait because, yeah, it's amazing. All right. I still have some mystery grab boxes and some retired items for sale. I am going to keep adding more retired items to the site. I just haven't had a chance yet. I was going to do it last weekend and then my daughter showed up and so I wasn't able to do it. But I am going to definitely add some more things. So there is a link to the description to check out what I do have for sale on my retired items list. And then, of course, grab boxes. I still have 2 Trucking Along kits left. I cannot get the punch for you right now, but you can still get the kit if you've already got the bundle, or you can order the bundle later when it comes back in October. And I have 2 of my Just My Type kits left also. A super fun, very bright, springy, summery class. You're going to love it. And I have 2 kits of that. I always have adhesive kits for you guys. They come in these amazing rainbow pouches. You've got glue dots and liquid glue and seal and black dimensionals, white dimensionals. We've got a tear and tape adhesive. We've got the seal. We've got the adhesive eraser, the sand eraser for some ink mistakes, and a ruler. And then, of course, this cute pouch. I always have that. And then I always have cards for sale. And lastly, Stamp Happy Academy is amazing. We are still going strong with that. I will be live in Stamp Happy Academy on the 7th of August. So those of you that are premium or live members, mark your calendars because I will be live doing some amazing projects for you. And then, of course, if you've been a member since June, then you get the catalog kickoff for free. So we will be posting a link under the events tab for the link to the Facebook group for Stamp Happy Academy members. So be looking for that. It should be sometime in the next couple of days. So just be patient if you don't see it right away. All right. I do want to say thank you to some people who sent me some cards for my birthday. My birthday was last month. I'm old now. And thank you all for thinking of me. So I did get a really fun card from Susan. Look how fun that is. I love that. Thank you very much, Susan. I appreciate that so much. I also got another card from Brenda using the adorable, what's this called? Darling Details bundle, I think it is. So cute. I love these flowers. This is from one of my team members, Barbara. Fantastic name, Barbara. And this is really cool. I love how she's got a little frame there with those fun little critters. Just love that. Let's see. This one here is from Denise, another one of my team members. I think this was my team member, or maybe this was someone else and my team member's card is farther in her. Maybe I already showed you. This might be a different Denise. Anyway, Denise, thank you for this card. It's beautiful and I love it. All right. This is a thank you card I got from one of my team members. I do offer my team members ways to earn free products, and they can redeem their free products with me. And that is what Nina did. And she just wanted to send me a fun thank you card. So I really enjoy that. All right. And then, of course, I got some other cards from, these aren't stamped cards. So maybe these don't count. Oh, there's a stamp. And here's a stamped card. Okay. So this is from Courtney. Courtney might actually be on here. Thank you so much, Courtney. I appreciate you thinking of me. I love how she used one of our, oh, good Lord. I can't even think of what it's called. One of our punches at the ends. Somebody's going to tell me what it is. Probably Cheryl, because Cheryl's amazing. Anyways, thank you, Courtney. And then I have this one here, a banner punch. Oh my gosh, thank you. This is from Debbie, and I appreciate that, Debbie. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. And then I had another card from, oh, I know what it is. One of these is from my dear friend Teresa, and she always sends me a Starbucks card. And is it in here? Yes, here it is. Teresa did not have a chance to actually make me a card this year, but that did not stop her from sending me a Starbucks gift card. So Teresa, you're amazing. Thank you so much for always thinking of me. She knows how I love my chai lattes. So there you go. All right, let's get started here. I'm going to start with, we'll start with something that's kind of tricky. You guys have heard the phrase, everything old is new again. And that is very true today. We are going to be making a lattice fold card. Some people call it the braid fold. Some people call it basket weave fold. Whatever you want to call it, we're going to make one today. And I have a template for you that I made a long time ago. And the link to that is in the description of this video. And it is a very simple card to make. It looks difficult, but with the pattern here, it's the simplest card, very simple. So we are going to be using the Irresistible Blooms set. Actually, I'm not. I am, but I'm not. I'm using the Kindest Expressions, and I'm using the With Sympathy phrase out of that. I actually have another. I've made one. I'm making one tonight. Anyways, you'll see what I'm saying. And then we're going to use the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper, because why wouldn't you? This paper is amazing. And we're going to use a retired ribbon that's actually on the clearance rack. So if you guys, when you go to order, you should always check the clearance rack. Look at this ribbon. This is called the Flirty, what is it actually called? Flirty Flamingo Metallic Ribbon. Now, for me personally, while it does go with Flirty Flamingo, I love it with Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. I think it's amazing. It's like $3 for the whole roll. You cannot go wrong. So we are going to use some of this amazing ribbon on our card tonight. Just as a reminder to always check that. Always check the clearance rack. Okay, we've also got some clips and a stamp and some other things. Okay, so this is my suggestion. My suggestion is to print off 2 of these when you download. You go the link in the description, download it, print out 2, save 1, so you can copy it over and over and over, and then use 1. And that way, I don't know if you guys, I have a little file in my drawer here where I keep things like this, fun fold directions and whatnot. And so I would keep this in my drawer, and then I cut one off so that I can use it today. So to start out with, we are going to trim this a little bit. So the line, this black line here is 5.5 inches long. So it's going to go right on the fold line of our card. So I'm going to trim this right to the line so that I can add this right to the fold line of the card. So we're just going to trim all that excess. And this is just copy paper, so it's very easy to work with. I have a layer of Petal Pink here. So I am going to fold that in half. I can see where the halfway marks is. I know these folds, they've been around for a long, long time. And it's a good one to bring back because it's such a wow card, but it's so easy to do. Now I like to use some clips. These are some little clips that Stampin' Up! Sold a number of years ago. I have just kept mine just because I think they're super cute. And so I am going to clip my piece of paper onto my card with the line at the fold. Okay. We're going to push that up just a skosh so it's right there. And then I'm going to put one in the middle too, just to kind of help keep it in place while I'm snipping it. Now, I recommend using some sharp scissors. I've got a pair of our paper snips here that are pretty sharp, and I am going to cut from the fold line down to the end of this printed line all the way down. So I'm just going to put my scissor on there, and I'm just going to snip all the way down. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to snip that one, and I'm just going to do this all the way down to the end of the card. So I recommend having some sharp scissors just because it's going to make it a little bit easier. And I recommend using scissors that aren't super thick, and I'll show you what I mean because I have a pair of thick scissors. The blades on these are very thick. You can see they're probably 1/8 of an inch wide, whereas the blade on my paper snips is very, very skinny. And so I feel like you get a better cut if you use a skinnier blade. I'm just going to move my clip down a little bit so I can continue cutting here. And so the template does all the work for you. And one more little snipperoo here, and we are done. So then take your clips off. And I don't recommend reusing these. I recommend after you've used them once, just toss them in the trash. They don't sit very well on the cardstock after you use them, and just throw it away. You've got plenty more to use. Okay, so now we're going to open up the card. And I'm going to have it open so that, I've got it folded in half so it looks like a tent now. So you see how that is? So it's basically, this is the front of my card, and I've just flipped it open. And I am going to fold every other one of these little chevron pieces down. Okay? And so I just want to make sure when I fold them that they are right in the middle. So you can see I've got the point of this little chevron is pointed right at my score line or my fold line right there. Okay, so we'll just keep, and you're folding every other one. So you start at the bottom, and then you're going to do every other one. Okay, and just keep going all the way down the card. And then we've got the top here. Whoops. Okay. So then the very bottom one, we are going to cut this chevron off. I'm going to cut that off. And of course, I can't see that well, so whoops, I didn't cut that off very good. All right. So then there is a little bit of like scissor weirdness there. So I just like to take my bone folder and just flatten that out again. So then we are going to tuck each one of these little chevrons underneath the one below it. Okay. And now you can kind of tell it doesn't really look super finished up there. That's where we are just going to take our piece that we cut off, and we're going to stick it on there, and then that's how we're going to kind of finish that off. So I am going to add some glue to the back of this little piece here. And I'm going to lay it down so it's right in the middle, just like the other ones. And oops, I squished glue out. You could use glue dots, whatever. Okay. So then we have that, and then we're just going to fold the card closed with this piece on the outside. And then you can take your bone folder and just kind of burnish everything nice and flat. Okay. So you can see that I left this piece to the outside rather than using it on the inside. And the reason I did that is because sometimes on the inside of the card, if your snips aren't perfect, you're going to be able to see those excess snip lines. And I don't want that on the front. So by doing this little piece on the outside, that's going to prevent anybody from seeing any of my mistakes. Okay. All right. So this is the front of the card. And then I took a piece of the gorgeous Designer Series paper out of the package, and I cut this to 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. I also cut a piece of Calypso Coral. This is 1/2 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to start out by adding my piece of coral to the front of the card. So we'll just add some liquid glue here. And I'm just going to put it right below all my braids, all my lattice, all my basket weave, whatever you want to call this kind of card. You can call it whatever you want. There we go. And then I'm going to add my designer series paper. And then of course I have a little bit of color right there, which is fun. So let me get my glue out here, and we're just going to add a little glue, and you can use whatever glue you want. I just really like liquid glue when I'm trying to position something, because I want this right at the bottom of the card, right at the each end, and then we're going to bring that up. Oh, Denise said she's never made one of these. Like I said, everything old is new again, you guys. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tuck that little one underneath also, so all of those are inside. There we go. That's much better. Okay, then this is where I'm going to use this ribbon. Look how this ribbon matches, you guys. Look how amazing that looks with the petal pink and the calypso coral and this paper. Wow, it's amazing. So yeah, if you don't have this ribbon, you should get to the online store. It's on the clearance rack. And like I said, it's $3.20 for the roll. And it's a very nice, soft ribbon. It's very easy to work with. And it's just, I love it. Okay, so we're going to just tie a little knot across here. And you guys know how I am with knots. Not so good. But we're going to try our best and see what we can do. Try to get it a little bit tight. Not so tight that we're going to buckle the card, but... Okay, and I'm going to just move my finger around a little bit so I can get a hold on that knot. And I think I might have done it. It feels like it's a little tight, so that's good. Okay, so then I am going to bring in my snips that I use for ribbon and get rid of that. And then I am going to move my knot over. As you can see, I have a flower up here. So I'm going to move my knot a little bit farther over so it's kind of in a spot where there is less going on. Okay, and then I am going to tighten that up, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. I have some glue stuck on my fingers, and so it's sticking to everything that I touch. So I'm pulling things around that I don't necessarily want to pull around because I have glue on my hands. Okay, I'm going to snip off just a tiny bit more of this. It's a little longer than I would want it to be. There we go. Okay, and I am not even kidding you guys. It's done on the outside. The paper and this lattice work, you don't need anything else on that. That's pretty much it. So it's amazing. So we are going to do something on the inside. So I have a layer of white. This is 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. And we are going to add that to the inside, but I also have a piece of designer series paper. It's the same paper, but it's the top of that piece. Let's pull this out and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So you can see the paper has like some open area up here. So I've just got this strip right up here that's right here. So I'm going to add that to the bottom of my white layer for the inside. Yeah, you don't need to do too much on the outside of these cards because that lattice work or braided look is really a wow. Okay, so we're going to push that right down to the edge like that. And then we'll do that. Okay, and I'm going to attach this to the inside of the card. Right down here at the bottom, so it's 5 1/4, so it's going to just layer in here really nicely. And 3 3/8 is the perfect size, so it doesn't go up and cover any of your lattice pieces, so you shouldn't see any of the white from the inside layer through the front there. And then I have a flower that I cut out of one of the patterns. Actually, I die cut it using the dies that coordinate with the stamp set. And I'm just going to put that flower right here on the inside. I know. It was, I don't even know how I came up with this. I think I was searching for something, and one of my blog posts from about 5 or 6 years ago popped up with this lattice work, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I forgot all about that. So I thought that's what we're going to do today, is some lattice work cards. Okay, so I do want to stamp a little sentiment on the inside. That's where I've got the with sympathy out of the phrases for all. Or no, it's kindest expressions. I'm losing my mind. Kindest expressions. And this says with sympathy. And so we are going to stamp it. And I like to stamp my sentiments sometimes right here. Why? I don't know. I just do. So there we go. That's the inside. Outside. I am going to add some gems to the outside. And I was looking at both of these. These I thought would be perfect, but they're too much. It's like you have this fancy glittery ribbon, and so this is too much. You can't do that. Somebody says I'm hilarious. Oh, thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate that very much. Okay, so these are out because they're too much bling. So that led me to these pastel adhesive backed sequins, and the gold, even though it's a little bit shiny, it's not like too much. And so I really liked these. And so we're just going to add a few of them. Here's a little straggler right here. I think I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them across the top here. And then we'll see what happens. And maybe one there. And let's go. Oh, I can't decide. Small one. And we'll put a small one over here. So we're just going to add a little bit of interest. But you guys, now that I've made this one, I want to show you another one that I made earlier today with a different orientation. Check that out. These cards can be either landscape or portrait mode, however you want to do it. Just depends on how you want to put your paper on there. So it's the same card, but just different way. And then I put this on the inside of this one. That's where I did use the Irresistible Blooms stamp set. And then I did this one, the landscape mode, and there you go. How fun is that? So two cards, basically the same, but yet different. Okay, let's clean this stamp, and then we're going to get moving on to our second card here. Oh, whoops, I almost put my Stampin' Scrub. No, my chamois. I almost put my chamois away, and Lord knows I'm going to need that again. Okay. So let's get these things put away. And the ribbon, and the stamp, and the clips. All the goods, and the template. Okay. So we will move these off to the side. We'll bring them back in at the end of the show. And now I am going to, I've got a quick FYI message. I have some old kits that I would love to get rid of. So I did put them on sale on my website. So if you go to barbstamps.com/shop and then type in any of the name of these kits, you can find them quickly, or you can just look through all the pages of all my kits and decide which ones you might want to buy. But I have some extra country bouquets, which of course that stamp set and punch are still available, so you could easily still get that. The best butterflies, I have a couple of these kits left. I also have one that has the dies and the stamp. I have those. The Around the Bend, this bundle is still available. Amazing class. And then lastly, the Alphabest and that stamp set and punch are still available. And of course, all the kits come with the goods, all the papers, envelopes, all that good stuff, because these are all my class kits to go. So just a little shameless plug that I do have these on sale. They're anywhere between like $7, $8, and $10 discounted. Okay, shameless plug, moving on. All right. So now what I'm going to make for you guys, this is one of the cards that's in my Bird's Eye View class. So we're going to make one of them that is in the class. We're going to use the Bird's Eye View stamp set and the Phrases for All stamp set, along with the Nested Essentials dies. Okay. We're also going to be using the Glorious Gingham Designer Series paper, because why not? It's in the class. We're going to be using some of the More Dazzle specialty paper in the champagne color. We're going to be using some of the Neutrals adhesive backed sequins, some linen thread, and is that all? Oh, and of course some Stampin' Blends. So let me get that. Let me get my papers out here. Okay, so we have a crumb cake card base. And then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper. And this measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then my old olive layer is 4 by 5 1/4. My crumb cake is, of course, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I have a white layer for the inside, which is also 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need to cut yourself one of these Nested Essentials dies. This is the second largest polygon. We're going to call this a polygon because a polygon is a shape that has all straight sides. Just in case you wanted to know that. I looked that up to find out what in the world we could call this shape because I don't think it actually has a name. So polygon is what we're calling it. All right. Then we have a couple strips of the Dazzle paper, and these are they're like 1 by 4 1/4, 1 by 4, yeah, 1 by 4 1/4. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to place our nested shape on it, and then we're going to trim it off. So like this one here, I'm going to push it all the way down so that my point is right there. Almost. And then I'm just going to trim off the edges here of the paper. And then we can add it to the back. So what we've done is just created a little interest for our shape by adding the Dazzle behind there. So that's what we're going to do. We've got 2 of those. All right, so we'll set that aside. And then we have some stamping to do. So, of course, we've got the stamps from the bird's eye view. I've got the branch and this bird, some sunglasses or glasses, whatever. The leaves. Oh, my internet just crapped out on me for a second. So I saw it happening, so I stopped. I didn't do anything. Gosh, that's annoying. I hate it when that happens. I've got a scratch paper on top of my foam mat, and I've got my Memento black ink. So I'm going to ink my branch here, and I am going to stamp that. No, Judy, unfortunately, it's mine. I keep hoping that it's going to quit doing that, but it doesn't want to stop doing that. It wants to keep annoying me. All right, so I'm stamping the branch kind of towards the bottom of this shape. And then we've got the leaves here. So we're going to ink those up with the same Memento. And we're going to kind of do a little random stamping with these things here and there, all around. And then we're going to, of course, do some coloring. That and that. Okay. We've also got this adorable little tiny bird. I don't know. Is this like I don't know what kind of bird this is. I'm not a bird person. It looks like a baby. I'm going to stamp that little bird right there. And then we need a scrap of white. Where's the scrap? Well, here's a scrap. And we're going to stamp the bird with the long wing on the scrap. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have his feet because we're going to cut him out. And then I'm going to clean this off, tap it dry a little bit, and I'm going to ink up just the feet. Okay, so I've just got his feet inked up, and then I'm going to have him stand here on these branches. I want to make sure that I'm not stamping him over the small bird. Whoops. Like so. So there's his feet, and then we're going to ink him up and cut him out and all that good stuff, and then we'll stick him on there. So we're going to color everything. I've got a bunch of blends here, so I'm going to use Old Olive, both light and dark. I've got Crumb Cake, both light and dark. I've got a light Pecan Pie, a dark Melon Mambo, and a light Berry Burst. So we're going to start by doing the branch with my dark Crumb Cake. So easy. And I'm not a really good colorer, so I'm not going to do a lot of shading or anything like that. We're just going to color. And now the class, you're going to make 2 of every card. So there's 8 cards total, 2 each of 4 different designs. So you'll make 2 of these and then 2 of each of the other 3 cards. Okay, we've got the light and dark old olive. What in the heck just happened? I just opened up my old olive, and this is an older blend, so it didn't really work out that good. So I'm going to color all of the leaves with the light blend, and then I'm going to come back in and add a little bit of the dark. Okay, that and that. I also forgot I need to stamp some leaves. Oh my gosh, who stamped that? That's crappy stamping right there. Hopefully my bird will kind of cover some of that leaf up, because that's horrid. Okay, and on my scrap here, I'm going to stamp some more leaves because I need to get some more. So stamp that. And then while that's drying, I'm going to come back in and add a little bit of the dark. So like, you know, one side of some of these leaves will do dark, just for some interest. So everything's not exactly the same. That's terrible. Maybe we can hide some of my crappy stamping with the dark marker here. That, and then we'll go this side here. And then that, we're going to bring the lights back in. Again, do the whole thing. And then we shall add some of the dark. Okay, so maybe something like that. Okay. Let's see. Yes, computers are annoying, Tony, that's for sure. Okay, so then on the bird, we are going to start out with the dark melon mambo. And I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of dark melon mambo right here and kind of right here. And again, I am not a good colorer, so yeah, it might look all right, it might not. And then I'm going to come back in with my Berry Burst light and finish the coloring. I kind of feel like my Berry Burst is getting kind of dry, and I know I have used it a bit, so there you go. All right, we'll come up here and we'll do this part of the bird. Again, trying to spread out that dark melon mambo a little bit. Come around the head, eye, the face, I guess face, yeah. Do that, and then we're going to kind of leave it. So you can kind of see we have a little bit of that melon mambo that's just kind of interesting there. And then we're going to bring our little bird in, and we're going to do the wing. So I'm going to do a little bit of the dark melon mambo here on the side of the wing. And then we're going to finish that off with the Berry Burst. Just kind of get that together. So it's kind of, I don't know, I don't even know what you'd say that is. It looks kind of like some hot pink magenta right there, and then it kind of, I don't know. And this probably isn't even the color of a bird. Like, there are probably no birds that are this color, but you know, we can do what we want, right? All right, so now I've got the light pecan pie. So I'm going to do the wings on this bird, and then I'm going to do the body on the other bird. And again, we're not going to do anything fancy because I'm not fancy. And hopefully I'm not alone. Maybe some other people in this world are not fancy colors either. And so we can all just hang out together and not be fancy. Okay. Go around the beak. Ooh, do I want to put something on the beak? Maybe some that pink. I don't know. Can beaks be pink? I'm sure they can. Let's just do it. It's our bird. We can do whatever we want, right? So then I would cut this bird and these leaves out, and I already have that done. So here is a bird and here are some leaves. And we're going to add them to the card. So now you can see we have the legs there, and then we're going to add the bird, because the bird's going to like be a little bit above the label. So it's going to hang over the top of the label, and you could even use the dimensional if you wanted to. And the same thing with the leaves. The leaves are going to hang off the end here like this. So that's just, I don't know, just give a little dimension to the whole thing. So I'm going to add a little glue to these couple of leaves right here. And then I'm going to attach my cutout leaves right like that. And then my bird, I'm going to just add some glue. I'm not going to use dimensionals. I'm just going to use glue. And this way, if you happen to stamp, you know, this too close to the small bird, you have some wiggle room to move it around. You don't have to worry about if you stamped the entire bird here rather than just the legs, then you're kind of committed to where the bird has to go. But I mean, I could move the bird over a little this way, a little this way. I could move it down. I could move it up. So I do have a few options there by stamping the legs without the rest of the bird. Okay, so that's kind of our focal point for the whole thing. So we're going to add our pieces of the More Dazzle paper to these. And I kind of feel like this More Dazzle paper is going to require a little bit of time to stick to the paper. So I'm going to stick this on, and then I'm going to like put some more of the card together and let this kind of really dry. And actually, I'm going to bring in the silicone mat so that if I have glue squishing out, it's going to be no big deal. You know what I could have done? I could have just used Scotch tape and Scotch taped it on here. Nobody would know. So if you want to, use Scotch tape. You know, I'm a Scotch tape lover. Okay, so we are going to try to make these even with how much we have sticking out. That I think needs to go a little farther down. Okay, so we're going to just kind of move that off to the side, let that sit there and hopefully dry good. And then we're going to bring in our main card pieces here. So we're going to, of course, add our designer series paper to our layer of Old Olive. And I don't know, I am just a sucker for the other side of this paper. Not that I don't like this plaid side, I do, but I really like the diagonal plaid. For some reason, I just really think that's cool. So it's my favorite pattern of this paper is this side. So I'm going to try not to have every card be this pattern. But it might, because I love it so much. Okay, we need some dimensionals. So I'm going to add this layer with dimensionals. Whoops. One in the middle, and then two on, or one in each corner, not two. One in each corner is plenty. Okay. Joan says she doesn't like to do any coloring. I'm the same way, Joan, but I just have decided I'm not a colorer. I'm not a person that can add a lot of shading and do all those fancy tricks, and that's okay. You know, my images are still colored. They still look nice. And, you know, the more I do it, the better I get at it. I need to come back over here and push my piece of paper down onto my glimmer paper. Yeah, and the more I do it, the better I get at it. So I don't hate it as much as I used to, just because I'm forcing myself to do it more often. And therefore, I'm getting better at it. So there you go. Okay, I've got a 1/2 inch strip of white cardstock. And then I have the Berry Burst ink, and I've got my congrats sentiment here. So I'm going to ink that up in the Berry Burst, and I'm going to stamp that on my strip. It's going to be a close one because the word is just about a 1/2 inch, so it's pretty darn close. Then I'm going to snip off the end of this with one of these banner punches. This is actually the Banner's Pick-a-Punch. So I'm going to use this piece here. I want to make sure I don't cut into my word, so I'm not going to go all the way, I don't think. Ooh, good thing I didn't, because I would have cut that. And then I'm going to snip the rest of this at the other end. Okay. And then this is going to go up here. How's my piece looking? I think it's pretty good. I think it's all glued. So if you have excess, just, you know, cut that off so that you have, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to use dimensionals on this also. So we'll just add a few. Maybe we'll do one on each point and then one on each end. That's probably good. Okay. There we go. And so we're going to set this somewhere in the lower right hand section, the lower right side. And I'm purposely not putting it in the middle because then I don't have to try to center it. Sometimes that can be hard. Oh, I need to move it up a little bit. My leaves are going to get cut off. So we're going to go about like that. And then this little guy is going to go up at the top. Right here. And I'm going to push it right to the edge of the old olive layer. Like that. Okay. And then we have a few little sequins. And I'm going to go ahead and use the brown ones. I feel like the brown ones don't get a lot of love. And I feel like they're going to look great because my bird is kind of this, it's almost exactly the same color. And then we'll just do that. And then our final trick, well, I guess not final trick, we do have to add this to the inside. I already did stamp that, so we can quickly color this. I think we're going to color this, I think we're going to go brown wings, and then maybe the pink body and head. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. All right, where's my pinks? All right, so let's try this again and see how. I think we'll start down here like that. And, ooh, let's just do these little squiggles here and see how that turns out. If we do the squiggles and then come in with the berry burst and kind of go over the top of them. See if we're going to get some variation of color there. I hope so. I think we did a little down there. Okay, and now we're going to do up here. Skip the nose. Okay, and of course, this is still part of the body, even though we have some fancy glasses on. Okay, and then the top of the head. And there we go. So that's the inside. So let's go ahead and add our, our seal. And get that on the inside. And cute. These birds are just adorable. Where's my linen thread? I had some linen thread here somewhere. Here we go. So we are going to tie just a small little bow with the linen thread. Nothing too fancy here. And we'll just snip that off. And then we can manipulate it a little bit. I don't want it too huge. And then we'll tighten that up and get a glue dot. Now here's a little glue dot. Ooh, you guys, my glue dots are almost to the end. So that means I am going to need to rewrap my next set of glue dots so that I can have them come off the right way. All right, so I've rolled up a glue dot like a little log, and I'm going to stick that right on the back of the knot there, because then you can't see it. And I'm just going to add that just like right here at the end. Okay. All right, so here's the card. Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing ever. Remember, I have a class on this, and this is one of the cards you're going to make. Then, so this piece here was 3 3/8 this direction. So that meant I had a 2 1/8 inch piece of paper left. Well, you really need like a 2 3/8 inch to cover the envelope, so you can sort of see that my envelope, you know what? We're just going to cut that off because I didn't want to cut another, cut a whole piece of paper just to decorate my envelope when I can just do that No one's going to know when you mail it to them. They're not going to say, oh my gosh, her paper wasn't long enough and she had to cut that off. No, they're going to flip over their card to open it and go, oh my gosh, look at this matching paper. This is so cute, because it matches your card. Okay. Ta-da! And there it is. Fantastic, right? I know you love it. I love it. We all love it. Okay. I have one more project for you guys. So let me kind of clean up some of this stuff here. Get it out of the way so that we can bring in our final project. Whoops, I used my scissors. I almost threw those in the bucket. That wouldn't have worked out so good. Okay. So let me put that aside. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate the love on that card. I was very, very happy with it. I thought it was amazing. Okay, so we are going to use one of these standalone die sets. I am a big fan of these standalone die sets, and I don't feel like they get enough love because they're in the back of the catalog. They're with all the rest of the dies, but they have no bundle. So a lot of times you don't even realize they're there, and so you might not buy them, but you might want them if you knew how amazing they were. So I'm here to help you. So this is the Petal Patterns standalone die set. It's a set of 2 dies. One is very detailed, one is not as much. And they work together perfectly, or you can use them individually, however you want to do it. So this is going to be a super quick card. So I have taken the, what is this stuff called? This is called the Soft Shimmer Specialty Paper, and it is exactly that. It's very shimmery, and it comes in 5 colors. So we have the Bubble Bath, which is what I did the detailed cutout of. We've got the Berry Burst, the Peacock, the Lost Lagoon, and the Night of Navy. And so they really do shimmer. It doesn't flake off. It's not that kind of glitter that stuff flakes off all over. It's just really nice shimmery paper. And so I did die cut I didn't die cut the whole thing, as you can see. I just cut a chunk that was like 4x4 and die cut it out of the middle. Now, I'm always talking about you guys should use adhesive sheets on your detailed die cuts. Guess who did today? Barb. That's who. I got my adhesive sheets out. I put an adhesive sheet on the back of my glimmer paper, and then I ran it through my machine. And so all I'm going to have to do is just peel off this backing. Hopefully it'll be easy. We'll find out. And then I can add it to this layer here. So this is out of Peacock, and you can see that the die does emboss little tiny dots in these little sections. Super cute. So all I have to do is kind of figure out, where does this piece belong? And so what I'm really looking for is the centers of the centers that are open on this detailed piece, and then these little holes in this bigger piece. So you can see each one of these has a little hole, and if I get those little holes lined up, then it'll be perfect. So I need to find an edge where I can start peeling this off. Oh, I think I have an edge right here. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to be careful. I think I might use my scissors to help me, because this piece is a little bit delicate. You want to be a little bit careful with it because it can tear. Obviously, this shimmer paper is a little bit sturdier than, say, like cardstock, but yeah. Okay, so here we go again. We're going to look for those little circles. Let's see, where do I want the circles? So I need the circles. Actually, we need to turn this. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of hover this over the top while I'm kind of looking for the circles to be in the middle of everything. Okay, there we go. So we're going to press that into place. That was so simple. I can't believe, and actually, you know, I have another sample of this exact same card, but in different colors, and I didn't use the adhesive sheets, and I thought, what are you doing? You're a crazy person. So then when I decided to do this color here, then I changed it. So, and I used the adhesive sheet. So now I'm going to trim this down. So I want to trim this down so that it is 3 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So I am just going to start by trying to kind of line this up. So I'm using these little circles, kind of putting them in the center of my trimmer edge here. And now I have a straight edge to continue. So now I'm going to come over here and cut some of that. And now I'm going to go to the 3/4 inch mark over here. And then I'm going to go to the 3-inch mark over here. So that's right? That's 3 1/4. And then if I turn this to go 3, that's 3 by 3 1/4. Okay. Obviously you have some excess pieces, but we are going to use some of these excess pieces, I think, if it'll fit, on the inside of the card. It's not perfect, but I think it's still going to work. And in fact, we can just make this a little smaller if we need to. So we're going to actually cut this. It was 4 by 5 1/4. Now it's going to be 3 3/4 by 5. So we've just instantly fixed it. So now we should be able to put this piece at the bottom and add some jazziness to the inside. Okay, so that's inside. Outside. Then I have a piece of white that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And we are going to add this piece to this layer here. So let me get some glue here. And this is a lot easier to add glue to than that little skinny piece. So I don't think you need to use adhesive sheets when you die cut this layer. I think this is pretty easy to use. Okay, so I'm going to push this at the bottom. And now I'm going to tell you this little color combination that I have here, I actually got off of the Color Coach. And I think it was the Bubble Bath color. Let me pull the Bubble Bath card here. Yes. So the Color Coach, Bubble Bath, Pretty Peacock, and Pool Party. There is a link to this Color Coach in the description of this video. You can print it off on white cardstock and then cut out the individual cards. Okay, so we have that done. Then we're going to add that to a piece of Pool Party. And the piece of Pool Party measures, I'm going to have to get the rules. I can't remember. 3 3/8? Yes, 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. But I feel like this is a little wide. Okay, so now I'm going to add this to my layer of Pool Party. Now let's hope I don't screw up the stamping, because I've already got everything glued down. And if I screw up the stamping, that is going to be super sad. So we're going to try really hard not to screw up the stamping. Okay. We have that. We're going to end up putting this on a Pretty Peacock card base. What the heck is on there? Oh, there's some, ooh, we're going to turn that inside out because there's some like glue residue in there. So I must have used this for something at some point. Anyway, we're going to put our sentiment on here. Now, the sentiment also comes from the Phrases for All. I've got the thank you stamp, and I'm going to do something kind of interesting here. I hope you guys think it's kind of cool. I'm going to first ink up the stamp in the Pretty Peacock, and then I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to bring in a foam mat just because I feel like I need it. Okay, and I got to pull this down a little bit so that I can see it also while still keeping it in the camera view. So I am going to stamp this, try to center it, but put it a little bit up just because I'm going to wrap some ribbon around this. Okay, so we have our thank you. I'm going to clean this off. Okay. Give it a little spank, dry it off. And then I'm going to pull out the Bubble Bath ink pad. And we're going to stamp over the same thing, but slightly off. So we're going to get like a two-tone look, and it actually is pretty cool if it works. Okay, so how I'm going to line this up is I'm hovering this over the top of the card right now, and I got to move it down just a little bit farther. So I'm trying to hover it so that it's, in my mind, exactly over the peacock. Okay, so I can see all the peacock right through there, and now I'm going to move it just a hair to the left and a hair down and stamp it. So you can see there is a tiny little Bubble Bath shadow now around that, which really, it just really makes the card look really cool, I think. So we've got that. I have a little ribbon circle that I tied around my pixie spray can because I want to add a little ribbon knot. So I'm going to place that where I want it to be, and then cut it. So I'm going to have it off to the side a little bit because, you know, centering things it's difficult. And so if you don't have to center it, don't. Purposely put it off center, and then it's way easier and less stressful. All right, so we're going to wrap this. We're trying to pull that around. Scotch tape it to the back. And then we're going to tighten that knot. And then I'm going to trim off this little end here because it's too long. There we go. Okay. Cheryl said she finally ordered the pixie spray. Ooh, with those new masks coming out, the pixie spray is going to be a lifesaver, you guys. Okay. We're going to add this little piece to the bottom of the card just because why not? We're just going to add some interest down there. So I'm just going to add a little glue to this little piece here. Oh my, I probably should have done this differently. How can I do this so it doesn't get screwed up? Ugh, we're just gonna wing it. You know how I am. Hopefully it's gonna be level and even and not look stupid. We'll see. It might look stupid and it might not be level, is what it is. Okay, we're going to cut this off, and then we're going to see if it's level or stupid. Oh my gosh, that was my ribbon scissors. I need some scissors that I don't care if I get adhesive on, which is these giant scissors that I have had forever. Oh, I didn't do too bad. That doesn't look too terrible. So now we can add this to the inside of the card. And then we have kind of like repeated our pattern to the inside from what we have on the outside. There we go. And I'm going to add this with some dimensionals, if I can find them again. I can't. So we're just going to use, we're going to use minis. I was struggling to figure out what to do. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the edges of these minis. Not with those scissors, Barb. Come on. All right, I'll just cut the edges of these minis and we'll use those. Tony says she's still on the fence with that die. I hear you. Are they in your other box? Probably, Cheryl. You know exactly how I am. Probably. Okay, so this is the front. Push all this stuff out of the way. I need a bone folder because this is not wanting to stay folded this direction because I had it folded the other way. Okay, put this on the front like so. There we go. And then we have some, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to do this or not. Let me bring in my other card. So here is the other one that I made. This is the one I made first. This is the one that I didn't put the adhesive sheet on. So this is basic gray, smoky slate, and fresh freesia. Another color combination I got off the Color Coach. I used this silver from the gold and silver trim combo pack. That's an online exclusive for my ribbon. And then I added, you can see my festive pearls. I used the silver ones and put them in the solid dots. So that would be these little solid spots here. But I don't know as though this card, because of the bling from the paper, if it needs any gems. But we'll see. We'll see what you guys think. I thought we would use the iridescent pearls. That was my theory or my thinking. But again, I don't know because I don't know if they're really going to even show up. So we'll just kind of gently lay them on and then you guys can even tell me. You can't even hardly tell they're there. So I honestly don't even think it's necessary to put them on there. I like them on this. You can see them on this one, but I don't know so you can really see them here. So I think I'm going to take them off. But if you guys are diehard having me put them on, I will. But let me just pull them off here. Okay. I think Sandy's trying to say no. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too, you guys. I think most of you are going to end up saying no. I think we think alike. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So let me push all of this excess stuff out of the way, and then we will get the cards back in. Don't forget that the catalog kickoff is starting the registration. The link is in the description of this video. I have a sale on some of my card kits. Also, you can get the link in the description of this video to my classes. Glue. What else is going on? Then I've got other classes. This class for sure. This is one of the cards you'll make in my bird's eye view class. And then we had the fun lattice braided, whatever you want to call it, card. And there is a link to the file that you can print off to make this so simple. Okay, that's it, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate it very much. Thank you to those of you that are going to watch the replay. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thank you for all the love, and I will see you guys next Thursday. All right, bye-bye.